Appointing auditors for your company is one more post-registration requirement you will need to comply with as a company. What the audit is, what it is needed for, who does audit, and more we will share in this chapter. The audit report is prepared by auditors you appoint. This appointment looks as a formal letter from the auditing company to the relevant registration authority, where it is specifically mentioned that a particular auditing company was appointed to audit your company, and the financial year of your company is as follows. If you wish to change your auditing company in the future, you again need to appoint a new one. Many registration authorities maintain lists of auditors which are available on their websites. By referring to those lists, you will ensure that you appoint a company which is allowed to audit and provide auditing services. As you may already know by now, not all registration authorities require today's submission of the audit reports. All companies in the UAE must do bookkeeping, but not all registration authorities require that you audit your statements. As of January 1st, 2018, the UAE has value-added tax. Therefore, we expect audit reports to be required soon from all companies in the country. As such, we want you to be ready and aware of your obligation as a company owner. To explain how you know when you need to submit the audit, we need to go as far back as registration of your company. When you initiate the process of company registration, you are requested to determine the financial year of your company. Why at the time of registration? Because your company's financial year is next recorded in your company's memorandum and articles of association that you receive once a company is registered. It is your company's financial year that determines when you need to submit the audit report. The financial year is a 12-month period. If you do not inform registration authority in advance when the financial year of your company shall begin and end, the financial year of your company will be by default a period from January 1st till December 31st. You may wonder why you may want the financial year to be from February to January of next year or from June till May of the following year. It may be important when you have several companies in different countries where a financial year, for example, starts in September and you have an international audit company X auditing your companies both in the UAE and abroad. In this case, it makes more sense for financial year of all companies to be the same and allow auditors do audit for all companies simultaneously. If you own just one company in the UAE, there is no major difference if your financial year starts in January, February, or even March. Now you may have another question. If your financial year is from January 1st till December 31st of each year, and your company was registered, say this year in July, in the middle of the year, does it mean that you need to submit the audit for this year for a period from July till December? Here you must remember a special rule for the first financial year. The first financial year shall be not less than 6 months, but not more than 18 months. Now let's take an example. You have registered your company and received your license on July 1st. Your company's financial year is from January till December. As such, from July, when you registered, till December, when your company's financial year ends, is exactly 6 months. You remember what we said before. The first financial year can be not less than 6 months, but not more than 18 months. So you have 6 months now, and you have an option to submit your audit for this period. However, do not hurry. If you continue calculations, you will see that you can add on to this 6 months period the whole next year, and it will be then those 18 months that are also allowed. Therefore, your first financial year can be from July till December of the next year. Now let's take a different example. Your company was registered in March and your financial year is again from January till December. So from March, when you registered, till December, when your company's financial year ends, is 10 months. If you continue calculations in this case, you will see that you cannot add on to this 10 months period the whole next year, as it will already exceed allowed 18 months. In light of this, if you register in March, you will need to submit your first audit report for the period from March till December of the same year. But when do you need to submit your company's audit report? The common rule and practice is to do it within 3 months after financial year end, which means that relevant authority shall receive from you the document not later than in March. In case of late submission, relevant authorities impose penalties. As such, to avoid penalties for late submission, we always recommend to start communication with your auditors in January. It can also happen that out of some reason you may be not able to manage to submit your audit report on time. If you have a valid reason that you can also justify, you may approach the auditors in advance, who will then approach registration authority and request for the extension of grace period for audit report submission. Nevertheless, you need to ensure that you do everything on time. Now let's discuss what the general audit report looks like. A general audit report is a document which includes balance sheet, income statement, cash flow statement, and statement of owner's equity. You should be aware that responsibility for the accuracy of the financial statements rests with you as a business owner and with the company's management, not with the auditors. Most of the time, the auditors will stress that they do not review every single financial transaction of your company. Rather, the auditors look at a representative sample of transactions and test them to make sure they were handled in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles. Auditor's job is simply to express an opinion on whether the statements are in line with the rules of business accounting. The most common question everyone has is the cost of auditor's work. There is no set figure for the auditing, as there is a number of factors auditors consider before providing a quotation. Here it will be important to understand the nature of your business, the average number of the transactions, your company's turnover, and more. The cost of your company's audit report preparation for one financial year may be between 2,500 to 10,000 dirhams, and sometimes even more. The good news is there is a large number of auditing companies in the UAE offering services at a different price range. As such, you will definitely have something to choose from before deciding which auditing company you would like to appoint. In this chapter, we try to cover the most common questions entrepreneurs have when they learned that annually the company needs to submit audit reports. Now you will know how to appoint auditors, why you need to know the financial year of your company, how much you need to budget for the auditing services, and more. Although you may be not a financial professional, these basics will allow you to better understand how your company will operate moving forward.